Have you ever heard a song and about halfway through it, you feel like you're just getting bored because it feels like it's been the same thing over and over? It's been super repetitive. It's basically just been a loop that was copy and pasted 30 times. I hate when that happens because I think that it is so easy to kind of avoid that. And in this video, I want to show you what you can do to kind of avoid just having a song that feels super stagnant, super repetitive. We're going to look at how to actually arrange a track and how to add little things here and there to kind of build the experience up for the listener, build up the dynamics of the song, make it more interesting. So we're going to dive in and check all of that out. But before we do, my name is Austin. You're watching Make Pop Music. If you like this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We do videos like this every single Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, if you want to be entered to win a free sample pack, preset pack, or MIDI pack from our website, Make Pop Music, all you have to do is leave a comment down below within the first 3 days of the video being posted, and I will pick a winner next week on our Instagram channel, Make Pop Music. I'll post it on our story, and I'll send you a DM or comment you on YouTube if you won. But other than that, let's go ahead and let's dive into this video. What I want to talk about today is arrangement. It's a little bit different than production. It's a little bit different than ear candy. Arrangement is essentially anything that could kind of be added to a song that kind of adds a melodic component, a rhythmic component. The way that I like to think of arranging a song is like you have the song at its most basic fundamental core, right? On acoustic guitar or piano, you have the chords, you have the main rhythm, and then maybe within the percussion, you have kind of the main groove. And once you have those things, then it's all about arranging it and making it as exciting as possible. It's all about taking that one little idea that could have been a nice little demo to jump off of and kind of layering that and building that and growing that into a song that feels really exciting for the listener. So let me show you a quick example of kind of what a little song start would be, and then where I would like to take it as a producer who's trying to kind of arrange it out. So we have this little demo right here. It's just going to be kicks, stomps, claps, a bass line, and a guitar. So you might already understand what I'm talking about. At first, when it comes in, it feels pretty good, right? You're like, ooh, this has a nice little groove. I like the riff that's playing. I like the chord progression that's happening. So this first 4 bars or 8 bars, you're kind of locked in. You're enjoying it. Feeling it. Feeling it. This is that's kind of where you start to say, ooh, I'm kind of looking for something new. So what I like to do when I'm arranging a song is pretty tried and true. It's called like the 4-bar or the 8-bar technique, where essentially every 4 bars or 8 bars, you're going to add something into the production or into the arrangement. And they can be really small and minimal. They can be really big and overpowering, like a lead line. So we're not going to talk about vocals in this video. I could do a whole different video on vocal arrangement. But for instrumental arrangement, things that I might add are little riffs, little fills, little textures. So let me go ahead and kind of show you. So I have this little riser that kind of goes in. So that's kind of helping out. And then I have this little pedal steel line that's behind here. So what I could do is I could decide that's going through the whole verse. I'm going to take that out for the first half. I'm going to kind of let the listener understand what's happening in the song. We're just going to add that in the second little 4 bars. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw in this little fiddle fill right here. So now we'll go from something that feels really minimal to just slightly more produced. And right here, here's another good example of something that you could do. I feel like that pedal still actually helps drive that momentum so much that I don't really care that the same riff is repeated, that the bass line's kind of doing the same thing. But for the next little version, like the B section of this verse, just to kind of spice it up a little bit more, we will add stuff. But also, another good thing that you could do for arrangement is just kind of change up some of the elements slightly. So I'm going to change the bass line from being this big sustained note and to something a little bit more percussive. And something like that can really help it not feel super stale. If we were to get rid of that and we still have that same just kind of standard sustained bass, as a listener, I'm starting to become disengaged unless the vocal is doing something really, really great, because the instrumental is exactly what I've heard back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change up that bass line to what I just showed you. Just adding in little licks here and there to kind of make the listener a little bit more excited. One thing I will say is I'm not showing you this with vocals because we're focusing on the production aspect, but one thing that you want to make sure that you do is not overcrowd it, right? You don't want a million things happening where the vocal feels less important. So it's really important that, you know, maybe when we're writing the vocals and tracking the vocals, this is a really simple just kind of loop over and over. Once we have that and we start to kind of understand the dynamic of the song, then it's really important to kind of build it up and make it exciting and make it impactful and make it grow. You want something that kind of breathes. You don't want a track that's just the same thing over and over and over again, unless that's the vibe that you're going for. In this part, we're also going to add a little fiddle. And then for this part, to swap it up, we're actually doing a pull out. One thing that you can do really cool with arrangement is even if you're not adding a bunch of new things, you can find moments to take things away, like do a beat drop, do, you know, a tempo ramp down, just kind of pull everything out, maybe fade everything with like a high pass filter or something like that. Do some kind of transitions in different moments or pull it out so a keyword or phrase can be highlighted. That can really, really help drive an arrangement. I think hip-hop is a really good example of that, right? Like where you might be listening to a track, and then it's kind of been the same thing over and over for the beat, and then you get to a section of the verse where, you know, every couple bars, a little half of a measure drops out, and then maybe a little beat drops out, and then maybe there's a snare fill. Things like that are so important, and so here, we kind of do that going into the chorus. And then we're getting into the chorus. So you can hear what a difference it would make if we didn't have any of this, and we didn't have any of this, and this was the exact same. It's just this over and over. And as much as I like that idea, it's got great bones. I can't listen to that for 45 seconds in a row. Unless the vocal is just really going crazy and doing a million different things, there need to be elements kind of pushing and pulling and helping that song kind of just feel exciting every single 4 bars or 8 bars. And again, they don't have to be these monumental changes. Like, you could still play a song on acoustic guitar without any of this. It's just production to kind of help. Let's go into the chorus and I'll kind of show you. This chorus is the same exact chord progression. It's still doing that stompy thing. So let's talk about how we arrange this to feel a little bit more like a chorus. So we've still got the stomps, but now what I'm doing is I'm adding tambourines and I'm adding hi-hats. And snares. If we didn't have those snares, if we didn't have those tambourines, it's literally just this. We have the little boom. So again, we're kind of filling out the arrangement. The key groove is kind of still the same. Bass line, we're just adding one little textural layer. This is a good example how even if you're not going to add something that is monumental, just adding an extra layer to a key sound or a pad sound or a guitar sound can really kind of make that mix come to life, can kind of make the arrangement feel more 3D. If we were to take that out, it's a pretty minimal difference, but it just feels a little bit less like a chorus. It's tucked in, but on small speakers, that bass is going to come through just a hair more. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the guitars. So we're doing open strums instead of palm mutes. And we're also adding in one little lead line. So this is our big main addition for this chorus to kind of make it feel bigger. So now just with the snares being added, the tambourines and the shakers and things being added, that extra bass line, it feels much bigger than the verse. We do have a couple things here just to kind of, you know, fill it in, kind of give us that same space. We have a pedal steel again. Actually, 2 pedal steels. So we're adding all of that in, but you'll see here for the second half, we're going to pull in even more stuff. Starting to get repetitive right around here, so that's where I'm going to add in new things. I'm adding this banjo and this mandolin just to give us a little bit more rhythm. It's subtle, but little things like that can really just kind of like wake a listener's ear up. So now the chorus feels like a chorus. It's bigger. We've got open guitars. We've got snares. We've got tambourines. Let's go to verse 2 and let's talk about how we're going to make verse 2 feel different. We still have that pedal steel. We still have that fiddle coming in halfway through. It's basically a copy-paste. But what I'm doing to make it a little bit different is I'm going to add one little organ underneath. And then for the second half over here, we're pulling in this little staccato Wurlitzer. Very subtle, very simple. But if you were to go listen to this, it does feel different than this. One thing that we also did was we also pulled out the claps for the first couple bars. Pull them in here. Pull in that. Pulling that little high fiddle line. Then we're back into the chorus. So there's small little changes here, but this is why if I just copy and pasted that first verse, it probably would be fine. However, you can go the extra mile by adding things like little key sounds, little hits, you know, changing up the drum production. And then going into this second chorus, we're adding the shaker on top. It's little, but it makes a big difference. And then we're also going to go ahead and add in that B3 underneath and that Wurlitzer underneath for the whole chorus. And then back here, we're going to take it even one step farther. This is where we're going to have a little solo. We've got a little pedal steel and an electric guitar right here. We've got a little organ. And again, that's the first time you've heard any of that. So it's basically just trying to give listeners the chance to hear something new, you know, every 10, every 15 seconds throughout the whole song, whether that's pulling things out for the first time, adding things in for the first time, dropping things out completely, doing a transitional effect. You could do the same thing with vocals. You could have harmonies on certain words or phrases. But when I'm arranging a song, my main goal is to make sure that it doesn't just feel like we take this little guy and copy and paste that about 14 times. That's just boring to me. It's fine to write on. I would say that's kind of the point where I'm like, okay, let's figure out if this is going to be a song. How are you feeling about it? Let's start writing on it. How do you feel about the melody? Once we get all of that set in stone and I'm like, okay, this is a song, it's so important to add in all of these extra small little layers that over time make up a really, really, really massive difference. Again, this fundamentally is not any different than this. But texture and space and vibe are everything to a listener, especially when you're trying to get a song that feels all-encompassing. A lot of people on the channel ask, how do I mix a song to sound bigger? How do I mix a song to kind of give me that wall of sound? And to be honest, a lot of that comes in something like the production and the arrangement phase. If I take out half of these elements, no amount of mixing is going to make those mandolins and those banjos just appear. So sometimes it is just a source thing of add what you need to add, make it exciting. If the production is not exciting, I can promise you the mix is not going to be exciting. And if the song is not exciting, the production's probably not going to be exciting. So focus on getting a good song, then a good production and arrangement, then a good mix, then a solid master. And after that, you should be able to have something that will resonate with listeners. So hopefully this video helped you kind of understand the process of arranging a song, adding in little moments for listeners, adding in moments to kind of let the song breathe, building it up over time. But if you enjoyed this, please let us know in the comments down below. You can like and subscribe to the channel. That helps us out a ton. And again, if you want a chance to win a sample pack, preset pack, or MIDI pack from our website, makepopmusic.com, comment on this video within the first 3 days. We will be picking the winner on our Instagram, makepopmusic. If you do want to support us, we have sample packs, preset packs, MIDI packs, courses, tons of free content, all available at makepopmusic.com. You can go check that out. It is the best way to support our channel. But that's going to do it for this tutorial. I'll see you guys next week. Much love. Peace.